If you believe a better world starts from within, you're in the right place. Welcome to Hold the Light. I'm Lori Gunning-Grossman, founder of Hold the Light Collective. This is a special series, a guided exploration of the Freedom Transmissions, a spiritual book about building a strong inner foundation so you can show up more authentically in your life and in the world. Let's begin. Resurrection, pages 310 through 320. In this chapter, we take a look at how everything in our world is interconnected, from an insect to a tree and everything in between, including us and our animals. Everything plays a role. We're all part of this web of life, not separate from it, not above it, but woven into it. We'll look at our purpose as conscious beings, which is not to dominate, but to serve as caretakers. We'll explore the lasting and often unseen impact we leave behind, the ways our spiritual evolution unfolds, and the wisdom we can learn from animals and plants. This offering, it gives us a perspective on our relationships with all life forms, to see the sacred in everything, and to recognize that every living thing has its place in the greater whole. This is Resurrection. So we learn here, every one of us carries a life force. And when we pass our life force on. Our energy doesn't simply disappear. When we leave this world, we leave more than memories behind. Our life force, our energy and consciousness continues to influence the world long after we're gone. Think of it like planting seeds. The way we live and the state of our heart when we pass plants seeds that will grow and affect future generations. So the way we live and the way we die matters. If we live in love, grace, and peace, those are the seeds we plant. That becomes our legacy. If we live in resentment or fear or bitterness, those are the seeds we plant. We leave behind an energetic imprint that matters not just to our loved ones, but to all living things who come after. And this is why many of the indigenous people, animals, and nature itself honor the cycles of life and death. They understand the balance. They don't resist it. They live in harmony with it. Plants and animals are the purest light holders. They live in complete alignment with their nature. As we learn, plants and trees carry a consciousness that honors and adheres to the rhythms and cycles of life. Without them, there could be no cycle of your breath or life at all. So we're not dominant over them. We're here to caretake them. Their consciousness is not beneath ours. They are equal, if not superior in many ways. They hold wisdom in their roots, communicate through their ecosystems, and sustain all life. Without them, we wouldn't exist. And our animals are our greatest teachers. They live in full presence. They love without conditions. They don't pretend to be something they're not. And their eyes reflect the truth. I mean, think about it. If you've ever locked eyes with your dog, cat, horse, or other animal, you know this. In this chapter, we learn a bit about reincarnation, which is, as this transmission says, simply another word for re-entry into the cycle and process of resurrection. So resurrection is a reintegration of wheat into chaff, or soul into form, once again. As we evolve spiritually, we may move through various forms of life, human to animal to insect to plant. It's about balance and the soul's choice to experience all aspects of existence. The text teaches us that a soul that has caused harm may choose to return in a different form, not as punishment, but as a way to understand, to heal, and to balance its energy. So if we lived as a dominating force, we may return to a life where we experience powerlessness, not as suffering, but as a way to learn compassion. And an example given to us is that an animal abuser may resurrect as an abused animal, again, not as punishment, but by the soul's choice because we learn it's unnatural for the soul to carry that much density, and it must unstitch and mend such love knots. It's shared with us that the soul seeks to know all of existence, not just one narrow perspective, and this is the evolution of consciousness. So we're encouraged to be gentle with all forms of life, knowing we're all interconnected. We reap what we sow. We affect the world, and the world affects us. As we learn, grace is the echo of your spirit on the web of life, as well as the echo that returns to you. It's offered here that even the divine is a progressive evolution of consciousness. As the divine evolves, we evolve with it. And as we evolve, the divine evolves as well. We're in co-creation together. The energy we bring to the world matters. The higher our vibration, through our presence, love, and compassion, the more we contribute to the evolution of consciousness. The lower our vibration, when we're in fear and negativity, the more we contribute to and are at the mercy of the collective unconscious. This teaching tells us that some beings of light, like angels, find it difficult to maintain physical form for long. When angels take form, they often come as animals or as children with special needs who don't live for many years. Our elders, children, and animals are among our greatest light holders, we learn here. When we abuse any form of life, whether it's plant, animal, child, or elder, we affect not only their consciousness, but our own. So we're being called to be mindful of everything, to believe that everything has worth and deserves respect and care. An example given in the book is, when you take a rock, leave a flower, or offer a prayer of thanks. Saying grace, it's a service of reciprocity. One of the biggest lessons we learn in this chapter is about balance. As we've learned, we have been given, or I should say we chose at our inception, free will, the power to create, to destroy, to choose love over fear. But through all of this, we must remember that our role is not to dominate. We were designed with higher consciousness to caretake this planet and all the creatures on it. It's our duty to uphold the balance that sustains life. And yet, we often forget this. We might see animals as lesser or nature as something to be used rather than honored, and we see other people as separate from ourselves. So that brings us to the topic of justice. Here in this offering, we're being asked to look at justice differently. True justice doesn't mean punishment, retaliation, or picking sides. It's about balance and restoring peace through wisdom and discernment, not through anger. So, yes, be deeply passionate about causes in areas where you think things could be done better in the world. But as we've learned, if your passion does not flow from a place of compassion, patience, acceptance, and humility, it will never create deeper peace, balance, and change in the world in a sustainable long-term way. Whenever we move from advocacy into hatred, blame, or judgment, we've lost the thread. Not everyone who disagrees with you is the enemy. So before reacting or lashing out, we're encouraged to pause, to ask, am I moving from love or fear? Because if we become consumed by our fight, we risk becoming the very thing we oppose. Use discernment of who and what you're following, or the bandwagons you hitch yourself to, including social justice, which, as the text offers, can often be replaced with mob justice, and social justice, which can be replaced by mob media. So we're being asked, are you the mob? Are you the crucifier and crusader fighting for nothing other than fleeting barroom brawls occurring at any given point in your world? Or are you standing in your Yeshua self? The text, it goes on to say that anyone within the world who says they know the way to justice, as they pick up a pitchfork, including the modern pitchfork of typed words and doctored videos, is tangled in love knots. So, be discerning. Justice comes through peace. when you feel yourself triggered, take the moment to pause, get quiet, and ask the divine for help in restoring your balance and peace. And if this still leaves you feeling agitated, we're offered these words. Whatever imbalance, injustice is not rectified in your life, it will be through loving resolution and rectification of balance the divine restores to all in the end. Those who take the law into their own hands will be subjected to the very laws of the imbalance they create. So this chapter of resurrection reminds us that we are all part of something greater than ourselves. The energy we carry matters. What we consume through our words, our thoughts, what we put into our bodies shapes our vibration. If we fill our lives with negativity and anger and things that were created through suffering, we absorb that energy. We are asked to use discernment with what we read, watch, listen to, and align with. If we choose to cultivate more love and peace, we raise not only our own consciousness, but the consciousness of the whole collective. This, of course, doesn't mean to ignore the darkness. This means choosing to bring light into it, even in grief, even in loss, even when we feel the most disconnected. Everything we do, everything we think, everything we put out into the world leaves an imprint. We're not separate from the collective, but deeply woven into it. The way we treat others, the way we care for animals, nature, and even our own selves through our thoughts and emotions, all ripple outward, shaping not only our own experience, but the world itself. So, how do you want to contribute to this balance? What life force or legacy do you want to leave behind? Here's your focus until the next episode. Read or reread the chapter called The Justice of Divine Balance, found in Part 2 of the Freedom Transmissions, under Transmission 7, The Braid, the Star, Rebirth. This is found on pages 323 through 338, and there is a meditation at the beginning and at the end of the chapter to listen to. And in the audiobook, listen to The Justice of Divine Balance, found under Transmission 7, The Braid, the Star, Rebirth. All links and information are in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Keep holding the light. If this series is resonating with you, I'd love to stay connected. Visit holdthelightcollective.com to sign up for my weekly newsletter, Build the Light. It's where I share good news for the soul, plus my latest events and offerings. All links are in the show notes. And if this podcast has meant something to you, the most generous thing you can do is share it with someone. Hold the Light is produced by me, Lori Gunning-Grossman, with additional producing and sound design by Jonathan Grossman, who also wrote our original theme music. Until next time, keep holding the light.